It can be pretty easy to lose touch with reality sometimes, but here's the thing. If you own 0.1 Bitcoin, you're doing pretty damn good. It's actually a really, really big deal. You're massively ahead of the game. You're massively ahead of the vast majority of investors in the world where they can even ever be in theory. You're ahead of those people. You're ahead of almost everybody. And it may not feel like it sometimes. I know how it goes. You go to social media and you see the whales, you see the influencers. People are flexing, hey, I just bought the new Rolex. People are flexing, hey, I just bought a new Lamborghini. People are flexing, hey, I just bought a new house. People are flexing, hey, look at my trophy wife, or whatever other crap is going on. Here's my stack of money. I've got a bag full of money and you don't. I know how it can feel, but that world of social media is a fantasy land, because for all the wins and the flexing and the clout chasing, people are very hesitant to talk about the time they got their asses handed to them or the $1 million they lost the week before. It's the gambler's fallacy. They always want to tell you about the wins, but not about the losses. It's human nature, okay? Don't hate on it, but just understand that you don't need to pay attention to it either. Because if you have 0.1 BTC, I got to tell you, the perspective on this is insane. You are winning the fucking game here, okay? Do you understand that? In America, for example, here's some numbers for you. It's like 80% of people cannot afford $1,000 emergency. Think about that. 0.1 Bitcoin's what, $5,000 worth of Bitcoin right now? And look, maybe you're Bitcoin only and the only thing you have is 0.1 BTC, and that's like your life vest for the insanity of the world right now. You've exited fiat. You're super into just financial freedom and all that kind of stuff for good reasons. And Bitcoin gives you all those things. It's the best money in the world. And if you got $5,000 in Bitcoin, congratulations. Honestly, congratulations. It's not that hard to stack. A lot of people could have done this. A lot of people could have done this for relatively cheaply over the last few years. Just 10, 20 bucks a week for a couple years straight into Bitcoin would give you $5,000 of Bitcoin today. It's not rocket science, although a lot of people don't put in the work to do it. If you put in the work to do it, or if you just had $5,000 and you went and bought 0.1 BTC today, again, congratulations, because you had the money on hand. You did what was necessary to get that money to even have it in the first place. And now you have more Bitcoin than most people are ever going to have in their entire lives. Isn't that some crazy perspective to think about? Because here's the numbers. If we take 21 million Bitcoin, which, okay, 6 or 7 million Bitcoin are lost. But let's just ignore that for a second. Let's say they all magically get found somehow. 21 million Bitcoin divided by 8 billion people gives you the ability as a regular human, if we were to divide everything up equally, to have 0.00265 BTC. So if you have more than that, then you statistically have more than the average human can ever have. Think about that. That's some crazy statistics, right? Hey, real quick before we get into the rest of the crazy news and how big it is to actually have 0.1 BTC, because it really, really is big. And when you understand the big money that can never have Bitcoin, you'll really get why this is a big deal. I just want to mention real quick about the Wealth Master newsletter. If you're not signed up yet, best damn newsletter in crypto. I know you'll love it. It's full of absolutely crazy alpha every single week on altcoins and airdrops and much more. 100,000 people a week reading this bad boy. You can too for free. Link in the description. Thank you. So your 0.1 Bitcoin. Here's perspective. There are 65 million millionaires in the world right now. Those people cannot have, again, assuming perfect distribution, they can't have any more than 0.3 BTC a piece. And Bitcoin is not evenly distributed. Right? I've got more than 0.3 BTC. I'm not going to easily sell it off to BlackRock and these other millionaires, the billionaires. So again, if you have 0.1 Bitcoin, that's realistically how much your average millionaire is only ever going to be able to have. 0.1 BTC, assuming they get more than the average person, that the most average people will never have any Bitcoin. And look, 0.1 Bitcoin, we have to be realistic here, okay? 0.1 Bitcoin is not going to make you rich. It's not going to make you a millionaire, at least not for decades. Maybe one day Bitcoin does get up to $10 million when the dollar's down the toilet and I'm in my 70s or 80s. Like, the $10 million Bitcoin now. Great, guys. Making YouTube videos in my 80s, celebrate the $10 million milestone. And then, hey, you dude with your 0.1 BTC, guess what? You got $1 million now. But in a shorter time frame, let's say, before we're all, old geezers, in a shorter time frame, that 0.1 BTC is not going to make you rich. But it doesn't have to make you rich to be valuable. And this is the thing with Bitcoin. Bitcoin's not a get rich quick scheme. Bitcoin is a don't go broke slowly scheme. Fiat is like a giant curse on humanity. Think about how stupid fiat is. You have to go out here and work your 9-to-5 slave job that you hate. And if you're not in that rat race, I commend you that you've taken the risks to get out of that craziness. If you're still in it, there is hope. Bitcoin is hope. Crypto is hope. Okay? Dial in. Now's your time to change your life. But let's say you're stuck in that 9-to-5 rat race. Okay? You go, you get your paper junk money from your employer. And guess what? Oh, you have to pay income tax on that. Take a little bit of your money. Bye-bye. Oh, you want to go buy something? Oh, that's going to be sales tax on that. Oh, do you live somewhere? Oh, okay. We're going to pay property tax on that. Oh, you want to drive to work? Okay. Gas tax and car tax and all the rest of it. That $1 you earned at work is now worth like 10 or 20 cents. And the funny thing is, the government, when they want more money, they just print it. It's a big fucking joke. It's a big joke. And most of us are not in on it. It's a big club, and we ain't in it. The good news is that the Bitcoin club is for everybody, but the chance to buy reasonably priced Bitcoin is fading because that 0.1 BTC, which I think is a good goal for your average person right now, used to be one Bitcoin. One Bitcoin now is 50,000 US dollars. Your average person cannot afford one Bitcoin, but I'll tell you this, if you're an average person, you can afford 0.1 BTC because it is a big deal. It will help you to secure your wealth. It will give you financial freedom in an increasingly Orwellian world where central bank digital currencies are coming. You can secure your financial freedom and you can store your wealth in something that's going to go up over time, not go down like your fiat currency is. Bitcoin is here as the money of freedom, as the money of the internet. And when you understand the real value proposition behind Bitcoin and what it has to offer to the world, you'll understand that having 0.1 BTC is a massive deal and that you are way ahead of the curve compared to the average person who's probably never going to have any because they can't even afford a $1,000 emergency, let alone the billions of people in the world who live in desperate conditions. To be able to have 0.1 BTC, you're so lucky already. You're in such a privileged position already. And even though it might not feel like when you go to social media and, Joe Blow influencers posting his new freaking Lamborghini, the truth is, if you have got this far in your investing journey, you've been able to stack up 0.1 BTC, you've probably already built the skills needed to turn yourself into a millionaire. You just have to keep doing what you've been doing. You have to keep pushing. And I believe that you can do it. And I believe that you will do it because you've had the discipline to get this far. You have the discipline to get further. And it's a great journey to be on. And if you've reached this milestone of 0.1 BTC, then congratulations, because guess what? You're actually winning the game already.